Hey guys, how's it going? I'd just like to introduce you to my duck farm. We have the two males here and the female, she's over here. Duck, duck. Duck, duck, female. Duck, duck, female. Come here. Come here, sweetheart. Come on then. Come on. Come on, come here. I don't know if you can see her there or not, can you? Duck, duck, female. Now she's got 10 eggs over on my friend's allotment, and every morning when I drive in or afternoon I tell her dinner's available and she'll get off the nest and she'll come over here. She'll completely wreck the little wildlife pond that I've just started making. Then she'll eat her 2 or 3 handfuls of wheat. She'll have a plod about, get followed by these 2 males, and she'll go back to the nest. It's just regular as clockwork every day. 4th of April, guys. Look at my little grapevine. He's coming to life. All these little leaves are opening. I'm really pleased about that. I've wanted a grapevine ever since the concept of a polytunnel or greenhouse entered my head on this allotment. So yeah, he put that growth on last year, by the way. He's probably about 9 or 10 foot of growth from a little 2-inch stem right at the bottom there. Today I must get these onion seeds planted out, these little onion seedlings. The sets I can leave a few more days. They're not making too much root, but they're really well established. I've just got to get those little seed onions in because they are starting to put root out the bottom of these module trays now. I've already put some out. I put some out the other day, but the weather was so bad it just started pouring down and I just had to abandon it. My first early potatoes outside are just starting to come through. There's like one of the first ones really. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, that one's pushing the soil up. That's my first earlies. I think it was on St. Patrick's Day I planted these. Is that the 17th or the 27th? I can't remember. Of March. But I'll take this cover off today and just let this soil dry out a bit. It's not actually too bad, so putting the mypec on top has really helped to dry it out a little bit, or keep it drier anyway. Now this is my second early potato bed, the first one of them. I'm going to put my Charlotte potatoes in here. And this is the bed I put the wheat traps in to see how bad the wireworm problem was. Unfortunately, the grey squirrels have been, and they have literally dug every wheat bag up. That's the last one this morning that they've dug up and just scattered the wheat everywhere, eating it. I can see why people say grey squirrels are like tree rats. They just do as much damage as rats do, they really do. And I know it's squirrels because I could see the paw prints or the pad prints on the soil this morning. This bed here is what I'm going to start putting some onions in while this weather holds. I put some in a couple of days ago. They are here. I've had to put this fleece on top because the partridge, the pheasants, the squirrels, whatever, will come along and pull all of these up, believe it or not. Yeah, that's allotment life. Everything is against you, unfortunately. But yeah, the rye in this bed isn't doing as well as the rye elsewhere, but it was only put in as a cover crop. And in that respect, it's done its job. So I'm going to start working along, get as far along as I can. These are a couple of beetroots left over from last year. And if the slugs haven't done too much damage to them, yeah, I'll take them home tonight. Beautiful beetroots. So I'm just going to get on my slug hunt, turning all these boards over, having a look for slugs. There's 2 there, 2 grey field slugs. Collect them all up and then get these onions planted. This is all my Elisa Craig onions now. I've got several other varieties, but that's all the Elisa Craig as far as I can tell, apart from the ones where the labels have fell out the tubs. It doesn't matter, does it? So I'm just going to get this whole bed planted up with these onions now. Just cut all this rye out, compost the top. All I'll do is just sever the rye just under the surface and stop it regrowing just at the base, just at the top of the roots. kind of like that. Which is why really I grew it in these little clumps, because it's easier to get out. If you just scatter spread it, you'll have real difficulty, you know, getting it out, unless you sort of strim it really deep, or I don't know how you do it. I just know it's just so much easier. I like to do it this way. You never know, we might find a few wireworms. As I've said before, I don't really have to do very much weeding on this ground at all. There's just so little. The one thing that just is so persistent is this here, and that is Himalayan Balsam, and it's all over the ground. It is everywhere, and I'm pretty sure, because I get it growing in little clumps of about 20 or 30 balsam plants, and I'm almost certain that it's either the partridge, the pigeon or the pheasant that are eating the balsam seed and then pooing it out onto my allotment where it grows in little clumps. That's the only explanation I can give for it being in these big fat clumps. It's a problem, Himalayan balsam, in so much that it spreads so quickly, but if you catch it before it seeds, it's pretty easy to pull out anyway. It's not difficult to get rid of. It pulls out the ground easily. It just has a little tiny tuft of roots. Once you've pulled it out, it's gone. So that is the good thing about balsam. It's not a difficult weed to get rid of. Just don't let it set seed, or you'll be pulling weeds out all the time. I've got some shallots in here, some garlic and a few elephant garlic bulbs there. So this will just get filled with these onions now. That's the rye that can go into the compost bin. Well, in June 2022, this ground was an absolute mass of weed and nettles, all kinds of weeds. They just completely consumed this ground. And here we are in April 24, so it's not been 2 years, using the no-dig principles. And that is without any weeding aside from the odd weed like that, which is balsam. So if you was ever wondering how no-dig works, this is how no-dig works. It just works, and it would just save you so much time. This, or what I'm raking really, is the compost. You saw the lumpy stuff out of the compost that didn't quite break down. So there's just some little hard bits and bobs, some woody material. That's all there is. This was composted about October, November last year. And all that there, just lumpy organic material, will now go back through the composting process and come out finished the next time. There's also little bits of lumpy charcoal in this, which I've given these beds a lot of dressings of charcoal. That's it, for instance. You just get the odd big lump in it. Charcoal is really good for your soil. It opens it up. It provides a great home for bacteria, and it stores nutrients for your plants. It's like a slow release fertiliser. Let's get the onions planted. Right, that's all I'm doing. Roughly about that distance apart, and the same again, keep them in blocks. It's better keeping things in blocks, and I've just said I don't have to do much weeding, but if you do end up having to do a lot of weeding, it's a lot easier to get your hoe through when things are in blocks. Come on, my little Elsa Craigs. Quite dry, this compost. One tray. The trays aren't completely full because all the seedlings didn't make it, but yeah, what I'll do is I will go halfway, which is there, and then I'll go around the other side and get those guys in from the other side. I'll just keep these, even though this ground, as you can see, is not dry by any means, it's quite moist. I'll just give them a water in to bed in the roots. Right, that is all the Elsa Craig onions in, and the 5 trays of mystery onions which had no label. So yeah, there's just a little bit of room left on the end here for a few of the globos, which I'll put out because I think we're going to get rain. You see this, guys, there's a cauliflower or cabbage there, I can't remember which one it is. Put them in about 4 or 5 days ago. They were doing well. So we came to this one, just noticed this morning. So that one, its leaves are down, I've just dug it up, had a look, there's 2 wireworms just eating through the base of the roots, eating all the roots away. So yeah, we've still got wireworms. They're just so destructive, evil things for your young plants. So just a few of those lettuce in the polytunnel, I'm going to put them in between these cabbage and collies as sacrificial plants, because I think the wireworms would rather be on the lettuce than the cabbage and collies. And I've got a lot of lettuce, so it's kind of why I've grown them, really, is I've grown them as lures for the wireworms. So at least when the wireworms attack them, I can just get rid of the damn thing. I just want to get them lettuce planted in with those cauliflower and cabbages, so we can just prevent the wireworms attacking them. But before that, let's get this rye into the compost bin. Let's have a look and see how it's doing. State of play on this one. As you can see, I put some more of that flour I had into there. The digital says it's dropped down to 35 degrees now, as it probably because it had used up all of the stuff it had, all of the energy. It's actually warm where that flour is. Yeah, the temperature's dropped because it's been composting the green material. Bacteria have been thriving on that. Now they're hungry. So this rye and these roots should give it a real boost. That bit of rye will give it a boost. The soil will act as a kind of brown, and hopefully it just kicks it off again, gets it going a little bit. But as I said a couple of days ago, when I put a lot of fresh material in, it got a day or two later it was up to 65 degrees. It's just doing so well, but it's kind of consumed, the bacteria have kind of consumed all that stuff. And the trouble is I've not got enough stuff to keep loading in, but it's still alive, it's just ticking over. It will generate a load more heat once I start filling it. So the bulk of the stuff will be coming in soon, and it'll be all this rye, which is, you know, it's probably about 2 foot tall now, the rye. It's really growing well. And I'm going to take the purple sprouting broccoli up soon, probably this week, end of this week, and I'll chip that, and that can go in. And it was the purple sprouting broccoli that I chipped that really got the heap rocking last time. There's a couple of stems there. I'm also trying to get to the bottom of this wood chip heap, so I'm sieving this wood chip, just getting all these big lumps out of it. Big lumps I'm tipping at the back of the allotment on the path at the back. The smaller stuff is going into bags. It's going into those bags there. I've got 4 bags so far. And that will all be added into the compost bin this summer. By the time I've finished this box, sieving this box. I should put another 3 or 4 bags with that. And that's lovely stuff to put into the compost bin. That's it for this one. I've now got to get some framing on here and put a big net over it. Maybe some fleece, I don't know. I don't think it needs fleece really. I certainly need to get a net on, because when I come tomorrow there won't be anything in the ground, it'll all be on the surface. Get my lettuce planted in there before it tips it down again. Right, thanks for watching, see you soon. Thanks to my patrons. Please sub if you're not subbed. Catch you later.